Welcome to PhoneScoop's video review of the Nokia 7380. The 7380 is one of three new fashion phones from Nokia. The 7380 is still very small, very easy to hold, and despite the fact that it's rather thick considering the size, it still fits into a pocket extremely easily, even on very tight, let's say, fashionable pants. Here's how the 7380 stacks up against the Nano, just so you get a size comparison. It's a little bit longer, obviously significantly thicker, but not nearly as wide. The front face of the 7380 is completely mirrored, and when you start using the phone, the screen comes on from behind the mirror, much like a one-way mirror. This is great when you're inside or when you want to show off the phone. Unfortunately, the mirror does not work so well when you're outside in bright sunlight. As you can see, when you put a little light on the surface of the phone, even if the screen is on, the screen becomes completely unreadable. The navigation is rather interesting on this phone. As you can see, it doesn't have a traditional numeric keypad. In fact, it doesn't have any noticeable buttons. The one button that you may think is a button, this Nokia badge here, that looks like it should be a shutter button, considering the location of the camera, actually has no function at all. All the navigation is done from this circular center console. The interface has been changed so that instead of a left and right soft button, you now have a top and a bottom soft button. On the opposite side, you have the traditional send and end keys. And in the center, you have a very iPod-esque jog dial, which you use to control all aspects of the interface. The glowing orange bulb in the center is actually your select key. Despite its rather unusual interface, Nokia has included almost every feature found in their mid-range and high-end phones in the 7380. Many of them are just accessed slightly differently. Despite that, this phone certainly is optimized for casual usage. Things such as dialing contacts, messaging, snapping a picture. Dialing contacts is fairly simple. All you have to do is go to the names and you can scroll through and then just hit the green button to dial. Taking a picture is equally as simple. All you need to do is go to the camera application and hit the select button to snap a picture. There are a few options, such as turning the night mode on and activating the flash. The flash isn't very bright, but if you're taking a picture of people who are close by in a bar, it's not too bad. The camera doesn't do very well at night, even with the night mode on. However, it's good enough for a casual club picture. It's much better in the daylight. Although pictures were very high contrast, we will warn you of that. Messaging, however, is a different story. Nokia thoughtfully includes an audio message application so that you don't have to manually enter in a text message. However, most people expect text messages. Nokia did their best to make creating one easy, but it still is rather difficult. Once you get to the message application, you'll see that along the bottom you've got a row of letters. The first screen is always populated by the 5 most popular letters, either the 5 most popular letters to start a word or the 5 most popular letters that would follow whatever letter you've just chosen. As you can see, this is very quick for words like the. However, it's significantly slower for pretty much any word that's not totally common. you'll wind up continuing to scroll through for letter after letter. The main difficulty with this is that no matter how good you get, you still can't be as fast as you would be with T9 because you're always trying to guess what the 5 letters on the first screen will be, and then being limited by having to scroll through to whatever letter you want to get to after that. The system does allow you to scroll backwards if you need a letter at the end of the alphabet, which is kind of nice. Finally, if you want to dial a telephone number that's not in your phone book, there is a numeric entry where you can actually just go in and rotate through the numbers to pick one to call, and then you just hit the green button. Overall, Nokia did their best to try and preserve the phone experience despite the unusual interface, and it's pretty successful for most tasks.